live stream. I'm really sorry I have not been on for a little while. Some stuff in my life regarding my health has become a big priority right now. I will let you know some things that are going on with me, and in the comment section down below, you can feel free to tell me what's been happening with you lately, and if you've been going to Disneyland or enjoying my videos, or whatever you feel you would like to talk about. I'm all ears. Okay, so what has been happening with me is I've had non-stop doctor's appointments for my sinuses and my ears. As you can tell when I speak to you, sometimes I sound really, really clear, but other times I sound really, really stuffy and hyponasal. I have really hyponasal speech. As I think I said in another video, I do have a deviated septum in my left nostril, so I can't breathe out of that side. So that explains why I cannot talk always the clearest. And now, here comes the real shock for a lot of people. Now I have just found out that I have qualified for hearing aids. So the hearing aid consultation for me is going to be next Thursday, October 20th, in Pasadena. This is not going to be as hard as I think it was going to be at first. I'm actually excited about being able to hear better and communicate with my family better without them having to always yell at me and have, a much clearer way of talking to people. Sometimes, depending on where I am, I have trouble hearing conversations or noises, or if I'm in a room that's really crowded, I almost can't hear people at all. It's gotten to the point now where it is getting increasingly hard for me to hear some things. So what do the processes having for me to go through hearing aids, what will it take, is what I've been asked by some people. Well, I get to first pick out the hearing aids that I want on next Thursday. I've decided to go with a behind the ear model with a full ear mold, because thanks to my autism and some other things. Hi Christian, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for logging on with me. It's nice to meet you. If you are tuning in, I was just explaining the process of that I'm getting hearing aids in less than, well, the consultation is in less than almost a week. Next Thursday, not this Thursday. So, to explain what a hearing aid is going to do for me is that in both ears, I am either at the severe or profound hearing level. That's explaining too why I talk so loud and why I have to compensate for my voice. People sometimes ask me why I speak so loudly, or it seems like I'm shouting at people. I don't mean to, but sometimes it's just because my hearing loss is so profound that I'll yell and I don't even realize the level I'm speaking at to everybody. So I'm gonna then have to learn, once I get my hearing aids, to learn to quiet my voice down, if possible. That may not be an easy trick for me to be able to start learning how to talk at a lower level. I'm going to have to be trained on how to stop shouting and talking loudly. Like also, the hearing aids are totally going to be a different process for me because, one, I've never had them before. This isn't the first thing with my ears that has come to mind for problems. I've had ear problems as a baby and all through my life. I had 4 sets of tubes put in my ears. I had frequent ear infections as a kid up to the time I was like 8 or 9. And as well as some problems because when I was little, I also did some things that I wasn't supposed to my ears, because with my autism, I was a very sensory, I like to find out things, but I was very curious. Starting at a young age, I made some mistakes that also possibly could have hurt my ears. I used to turn up my music too loud with media. When I was little, for some reason, because of my autism and being very sensory, hands-on, wanting to know it all, I unfortunately used to stick things into my ears that I wasn't supposed to. Some kids with autism do things that most people would not understand why they did it. They'll say to the child, why did you stick this in here? Why did you do that? Did you know what you were doing? Unfortunately, in a lot of ways, I think I knew it was bad when it was over with, what I did, but I didn't quite understand at the time that I was doing something bad until it hurt. And I had to go to the doctor's office to get what was in my ear removed. The one thing I'll tell you that I stuck in my ear at one time, because it fell on the floor when I was in kindergarten, I found a small little pink eraser off a pencil and I stuck it in my ear. Why? Because I was very sensory curious and 5 years old. So I guess just because I was very, very curious. The other worst thing I ever did to my ear at one time, and who knows why at 4 I decided to do this. I got hold of a small peanut that was on the floor of our house, and for whatever reason, again, I stuck it in my ear. It got up so far that they were really nervous about getting it out. But they put this water squirting device in my ears each time and it got them out successfully. So I never had to go under anesthesia to actually take the stuff out that I did when I was a little kid to, take anything out of my ears or anything. Then when I was around 10, unfortunately, I was still very sensory, hands-on curious kid, and I stuck a nickel in my nose at age 10. I don't know why some people do that, like, when I think about what I did now. Having autism and the curiosity that we showed when we were kids, it still really surprises me. Has anybody ever had the experience being autistic or just a very, curious kid of sticking, stuff in your nose, your ears, and really having to just go to the doctor and get it removed? Now, back to the thing with the hearing aids. I chose the behind the ear model, and I am not going to be afraid. I have chosen colored hearing aids to be the process I'm going to choose, with a ear mold custom made to what my ear is around this area right here, because I want the hearing aid to fit exactly custom made to my ears so that they're not loose or gonna have like horrible sound problems and everything. I'll find out more during my appointment to what's gonna happen with how, to take the wind reduction down, sound reduction, background noise reduction, and some other stuff that I can do now. Also, in this particular appointment, I'm also going to find out how, once I get my hearing aids, I'm going to be seeing what I missed out on so much from being hard of hearing. A lot of people, when they talk to me, don't notice until they get to know me that I can be hard of hearing. And that's why I sometimes have to go, like, what did you say? I couldn't hear that. Or have somebody yell from another room at me, which I don't really particularly like. Sometimes my mom yells from another room, and I may not always hear what she says, but her voice just makes me jump sometimes. So if anybody is experiencing any of these problems, share in the comment section here if you have hearing problems and how it's affected you. Don't be afraid to reach out if you have hearing loss. There is resources for those who are hard of hearing. And I would also like to say also, my sinus surgery is scheduled for December 14th to get rid of my deviated septum and reduce my turbinates in size, because that's what's making it hard for me to breathe too. So I'm going to go now, but I'll talk to you later, Disneylanders with special needs. Bye.